ভয়েস অফ আমেরিকার আজকের আয়োজনে আপনাদের সবাইকে স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি। আমি আসানুল হক। কেমন আছেন সবাই? আশা করি ভালো। পরিবেশ দূষণ একটি বিশ্বজনীন সমস্যা, আর সেই সমস্যার প্রেক্ষাপটে প্রতি বছর গোল্ডম্যান এনভায়রনমেন্টাল প্রাইজ একটি সম্মানজনক পুরস্কার দেওয়া হয় যারা পরিবেশবাদী আন্দোলন করেন তাদেরকে। তাদের মধ্যেই এবছর 2011 সালে যারা পুরস্কার পেয়েছেন একজন হচ্ছেন হিলটন কেলি। তিনি টেক্সাস থেকে এসেছেন। কথা বলছি তার সাথে, তিনি কী ধরনের আন্দোলন করছেন সে সম্পর্কে জানতে চাই। তিনি ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়াল পলিউশন বা বিভিন্ন বাণিজ্যিক ইন্ডাস্ট্রির যে পলিউশন হচ্ছে, পরিবেশ দূষণ হচ্ছে, সেগুলোর বিরুদ্ধে আন্দোলন করছেন। হিলটন কেলি, ওয়েলকাম টু আওয়ার শো।
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're from Texas?
Yes, I'm from Port Arthur, Texas on the Gulf Coast.
I wonder what made you decide that you'd go for this kind of fight against industrial pollution?
Well, in my community in Port Arthur, Texas, for years, local industries have been dumping tons and tons of toxic waste into the environment. And what I found when I went back to Port Arthur, Texas in 2000, that they had been dumping tons of illegal emissions. They were breaking the Clean Air Act laws. They weren't obeying the EPA guidelines. And also the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, our state regulatory agency, was seriously lacking in enforcement.
How do you do it? Because in Bangladesh, many people are facing the same kind of problems, and industries are doing this kind of illegal stuff. And how do you do it so that people know how to organize this kind of movement?
Yes, I'm familiar with many of the issues in Durban, South Africa, when it comes to the Shell Oil Company, also in Nigeria, and also in Bhopal. What you have to do is basically organize. You have to educate the people in those communities on how they're being disadvantagedly, are at a serious disadvantage because these industries are dumping these illegal emissions, and they have to organize and fight to stand against it. But it really takes a lot of regulatory agencies to step up to the plate and help the people in the community to fight for their environmental justice rights by putting certain regulations in place and educating the public on the ceiling that's been put on the emission levels. Many times what happens is people naturally assume that these refineries or chemical plants are going to look after their well-being. But many times they supersede the amount of toxins that they can release into the environments by tons. And we, the people, have the task of having to call them on that and actually start to protest these plants whenever they have these illegal emissions.
So the thing that you are doing right now, did it start as a one-man fight against the system, or did you organize people?
Basically, it started with me educating myself on how these facilities should operate. And then once I educated myself on that, I found that they were out of compliance with a lot of the federal regulations here in the United States. And also they were out of compliance with state regulations. But yet we found that our state was not enforcing a lot of the violation notices that these plants had received. They were allowing them to do whatever they want because they were just accustomed to operating that way. But we started to push the issue through litigation. We had to get an attorney. Jim Blackburn was our attorney, and we started to sue the refiners. We sued the Environmental Protection Agency under the Bush administration, who had weakened the EPA and somewhat tied their hands from helping the people. So once we started to get litigation involved and we had attorneys to work with us, then we started to see some momentum. We even went to the shareholders meeting, and there was some folks there from Bhopal in the Netherlands, and we went into the shareholders meeting and we educated the shareholders and Sir Philip Watts at that time on the atrocities that their company was causing in America and Nigeria, Durban, South Africa, and in Bhopal areas as well. So you have to fight. You have to organize the people, and you have to be forever diligent in that effort.
I wish you all success. Mr. Hilton Kelly, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm hopeful that we can help in some way.
কথা বলছিলাম হিলটন কেলি, গোল্ডম্যান এনভায়রনমেন্টাল প্রাইজ উইনার 2011 সালের। আশা করি সাক্ষাৎকারটি আপনারা উপভোগ করেছেন। আজকের আয়োজন এ পর্যন্তই। আসানুল হক, ভয়েস অফ আমেরিকা, ওয়াশিংটন।